welcome to Energy Rhythms. This is your host, Arti Gupta, and you are watching a live broadcast at www.rvntv.tv. We have a very special guest in today, and she's actually, originally, she began her journey as a piano performance major, but along the lines, she had receiving after a partial scholarship to the Hart School of Music, as well as a partial scholarship to Westchester University. She, like I said, even though she has so much love for music and it continued, but like I said, she went into public speaking eventually. And she's a certified public speaking consultant and educator. And we would like to know more about her journey and how she got inspired to get into public speaking. Now, as you know, some people do have the fear or stage fright of going in front of an audience and giving, whether it's a speech or whether it's a eulogy or anything of that sort. But like I said, she will be giving us tips and tricks as to how you become a wonderful and amazing speaker. So let us introduce Julie Teicher from Central New Jersey. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Now, like I said, what transition, I know you have the love for music and for the piano. What made you transition from music into public speaking?
Okay, that was a very good question. Thank you for asking. My heart is still definitely with, I love music as well. But I was a piano performance major originally, and I am a classically trained musician. During that period of time, I thought that it would be pretty difficult to become a successful piano performer, especially with classical music, unfortunately. So I decided to change my major to something a little bit more practical, which my undergraduate was in business and communication. And during that time is when I took my first public speaking class, which, like everybody else, I was extremely nervous, and I kept doing it. Over that one semester, my first semester as a business and communication major, I delivered 18 speeches, and I got a lot better at it, and I felt more comfortable, and I actually am probably one of the very few people who really, really like to publicly speak. That became my passion. Yes. So I continued, actually, and I went to NYU for graduate school, and I received my master's in speech and interpersonal communication. And I decided that I wanted to dedicate my time to help people build confidence and teach them the skills, which include delivery skills, successful delivery skills, as well as content, having good quality content with the audience as the primary focus.
That's very interesting. Like I said, it's like a whole different shift, like a 180-degree shift.
It's a big shift. It's a big shift.
Like I said, from music, which is a very creative, I should say a medium, and going into, like you said, the reality of public speaking. But like now, would you say is your favorite part of the public speaking?
That's a very good question. My absolute favorite part of public speaking, with what I do with public speaking, is seeing the transition from whether it's a business person or a child whom I instruct, develop a sense of confidence. I have seen people come a long way. Speaking in front of people can make people feel very insecure and very nervous because you start thinking about any potential negative situation that could happen. What if I forget what I'm going to say? What if everyone's looking at me? Or what if I'm sweating and they can tell that I'm nervous? But all of those fears start to go away if you make public speaking, if you make it a fun thing, if you make it, I try to make it really fun. I give a lot of positive feedback, positive encouragement, and the more you do it, the more, this is the one thing that people do not want to hear, the more you do it, the better you get. So my favorite component of it is when I instruct or when I consult is to watch people progress in confidence and learn to like it and I've seen many successful outcomes based on training and educating, which has been phenomenal.
Now when you say about making it fun, I do remember an episode, I think this was in the Brady Bunch a long time ago, that I think Marcia, the eldest daughter, I don't know, she had a fear or something and she had to give a speech in her school. And I guess her parents or somebody told her to visualize everybody in their underwear.
Yes, yes.
And then she was able to relate it that way because that lightened the whole situation up. And then she was able to deliver her speech.
That's very funny, and that's very known. And yes, you can do whatever you need to do if that's what gets you through it. My key when I give advice to people, I mean, you make it fun, but you have to, the practicing is the key. The practicing is the biggest part of it. When people start to it's something that needs to be developed, because if you're very fearful and then if you throw somebody into a situation where all of a sudden the person's speaking in front of a large audience, that could be detrimental to the progress of the person and the person's skill. If the person is able to start with a smaller group or start with individual instruction or consulting and then add a couple of people to the audience and then add a few more people to the audience and then just keep practicing that way, then the larger the audience gets, the more comfortable that person will feel. So it's good. And to keep the audience, what the biggest key is to keep the audience in mind, because people think that the focus is completely on you. Is I'm going to speak, I'm so nervous, it's about me. It's really about your audience. What keeps the audience interested? I mean, you're going to deliver a 7-minute speech to somebody or a 7-minute presentation, and you're so worried about it, but what about the person who needs to be convinced to be able to purchase something from your company? You know what I mean? They don't want to be bored at all. They want to be excited. They want to be persuaded. They want to
be engaged.
So it's actually in the college setting, we call that audience-centered speaker. You're focused on the attention of your audience, and that kind of takes a little bit of pressure off of yourself, which is a good thing. It's a very good thing.
So we're actually talking with Julie. She's a communications consultant and educator in I should say Central and Southern New Jersey areas, and she teaches public speaking in college level. So we have lots more to talk about, so you stay right where you are. We'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Is your business growing and now you need a new and bigger building? Has your organization outgrown their facility and now it's time to expand? Do your hobbies require the need for more space? If you're paying rent, but now you want the advantages of owning, the prospect of financing, construction, and on-time completion may seem out of your reach. General Steel Corporation has the answer. A pre-engineered steel building from the General will not only look great and satisfy almost any need, but you'll save time and money. Our team will help you create your building and deliver it to your location. We offer design services to help you present your concept to board members, bankers, or for fundraising. And the General can even help with financing. General Steel is a name you know, with quality backed by a 50-year structural warranty. Call today and find out how easy it is to have the building you want. You may even save up to $20,000 with rebates. If you need space, you need the General.
Seniors want peace of mind and a free prescription discount card? Keep listening. Are you age 85 or younger? Here's an important message to you and all seniors from Final Expense Direct Insurance Services. The average funeral now costs over $7,000, and the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255. Our senior plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. There's no medical exam, and you'll have lifetime coverage. Plus, your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled as long as you make your premium payments. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone. Plus, call right now and you'll receive a free prescription discount card.
Call 855-223-7661. That's 855-223-7661. 855-223-7661.
Welcome back to Energy Rhythms. This is your host, Arti Gupta. Our special guest today is Julie, who is a communications consultant and educator. Julie, can you tell us, like, what is the number one thing that people need to focus on in public speaking?
Okay. The number one issue that I find with most people is the overuse of speech fillers, such as like, so, you know what I mean. People think that if they pause and think about what they're going to say, that it has a negative effect. So rather than pausing for a second, the person is replacing that thought with And for a person to say all of the time does not seem to be as professional, and the person does not seem to be as confident. So we really, really work very hard on minimizing those. And the first part of becoming better at that is to becoming aware and conscious of when you're doing it, because people are so used to saying it all of the time, they don't even know that they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I've had people actually write down how many times that they do it in the beginning of a course, and then at the end of the course, it dramatically changes. If it's a course that they're taking, yes.
Okay. So I also noticed that you consult with professional people also.
Yes.
So, like, what type of skills, I should say, you being an expert in this field, in the communications and speech arena, like, what advice and what skills do you present to the professional people so then they can become more successful in their jobs and in their meetings, and they can produce results?
Okay. That's an excellent question. That's definitely my favorite question. It's 100% connecting with your audience, 100%. Some people, they have the content memorized, and they're looking at note cards, and they're delivering a presentation just looking at their note cards, and they're not engaging with the audience at all. You should be completely engaged with your audience. You don't need to deliver the same speech exactly the same way every single time you deliver the speech. It could be changed up a little bit. I teach an approach called extemporaneous speaking, which is more of a conversational type of a format. It's practiced and prepared speaking. So the person may have key words and key phrases on note cards, and it allows a person to change when needed. If people in the audience may look bored at that point, they might not want to follow exactly along what's going to be next on the note card. They might ask the audience a question and wake them up a little bit, but you have to really focus on the audience. Another problem is with professionals, sometimes the visual presentation is not exactly the way it should be done. Many people, often, if they use a PowerPoint presentation, they were putting way, way too much information on the PowerPoint. They might have all of the words of the presentation completely written out on the PowerPoint, and just read the presentation. Nobody wants to be read to unless you're a little kid and it's a story. So the PowerPoint presentation is just supposed to enhance the speech. And the simpler it is, the better it is, the much more effective it is. And that's what I do with the consulting. I help with any visual presentations if that's needed as well.
Yeah, like you said, that we do have to engage, because like I said, I think the average time relapse, I think it's maybe about 2 or 3 minutes for the audience to absorb that information. Because like you said, if it gets too long, you then start like rolling your eyes, or you like you're bored, you put your hand over here and switch sides and all that. So, I mean, and speaking of that, there are ways that the presenter, or I should say the public speaker who has to give a presentation, there are ways that you have to engage the audience, whether it's by a question or by a statistic. You discuss about that. Or you just, like you said, you ask them a question out of the blue, and then to get them thinking.
Yep.
And then you can get more feedback and more participation from the audience.
100%. Participation, questions, because it almost forces the audience to get involved.
Yes.
Also, during my training, or tutoring, the way that it's delivered as well. I mean, sometimes you have to have enough speech inflection. People sometimes speak and they have, I don't know if you ever heard anyone and their voice is completely monotone the
Yes.
entire time.
Yes.
And that could definitely wear thin very quickly.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The variety of speech inflections with higher tones or lower tones and a variety of volume and all of those, this all helps keep the audience stay focused, and that's the overall goal. Especially if you're in business or in sales or in those types of fields. You don't want to lose the audience there. You want the audience to be like, I am buying that, I'm buying that now, and you know what I mean? They want to be so persuaded and in love with a presentation.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, see, I believe that words are, I should say, a secret weapon in a way that in order you can persuade somebody or you can change somebody's mind or opinion. So I believe that speech and communications in today's times is very, I should say, very crucial in order for anybody to succeed, whether they have a business or whether they're in a 9-to-5 job.
Yes, and that being said, it's with what you're saying, it is crucial, and you want to be extraordinarily credible.
Yes.
And building up your credibility with stating your experience and it being completely honest and having information to back up what you're saying, credible information. I work on all of that with that person, because the worst thing is for somebody to believe the speaker and buy into what the speaker is saying, and it's not all true, or it's not all accurate, or there were some statistics that were thrown in that weren't 100% right. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Or words were used in a sales presentation to maybe try to trick the customer, but we don't want to do that, because if you have a good product and you're honest and you're successful, you don't need to do that.
I think right there is just the key ingredients.
Right. Right.
And then, like I said, if the buyer, the customer or client, they like it, then they're gonna definitely go for it.
They're gonna go for it. There's no need to work it up. You could present it for what it is. Present it well, and that's the key. That's the component. They're your friends. Your clients are your friends. You're not trying to trick them. You're not trying to steal from them. You're trying to have a good relationship with them, to continue a good relationship with them, because long-term relationships with your client, that's the key to being successful in business.
So, guys, we got more to cover with Julie, but stay right where you are and we'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Thousands of people contact General Steel each month for a pre-engineered steel building. Business owners who need office, retail, manufacturing, or storage facilities. Leaders who need churches, schools, and gymnasiums. They all want the same thing, the advantages of owning. To build quickly and save money. Quality, backed by our 50-year structural warranty. And they all want to work with a name they know, General Steel. Call us today for the building you need and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction.
Is your business growing and now you need a new and bigger building? Has your organization outgrown their facility and now it's time to expand? Do your hobbies require the need for more space? If you're paying rent, but now you want the advantages of owning, the prospect of financing, construction, and on-time completion may seem out of your reach. General Steel Corporation has the answer. A pre-engineered steel building from the General will not only look great and satisfy almost any need, but you'll save time and money. Our team will help you create your building and deliver it to your location. We offer design services to help you present your concept to board members, bankers, or for fundraising. And the General can even help with financing. General Steel is a name you know, with quality backed by a 50-year structural warranty. Call today and find out how easy it is to have the building you want. You may even save up to $20,000 with rebates. If you need space, you need the General.
Welcome back to Energy Rhythms. Please note this is a live broadcast at www.rvntv.tv. So Julie had, before the break, had mentioned to us that in our, I should say, day-to-day conversation and in public speaking, that the number one issue she had addressed was the speech fillers. And like I said, if you take her class, you will be minimizing your speech fillers from once you start of the course to the end of the course. You will minimize that. So now I'm really interested, Julie, in knowing about your students, the children. Could you tell us a little bit more about how your style of teaching is for them? And if I'm not mistaken, are they also in like different speech competitions or speech debates?
Yes. There a lot is involved with the children and speaking, which has been excellent because, as you know, I am a college instructor as well. And unfortunately, many of my students who come into class at 18, 19, 20 years old, that's the first experience they have speaking, and which is a little sad because they're very insecure and they haven't done it yet. And I never believe that it's too young to start. I have children as young as 5 in public speaking right now.
Wow.
Yes, so I teach individually, I tutor individually, as well as I have group classes of all different ages. And some of my students, a few of them, do compete competitively. They compete at national competitions around the country. I had 2 6th grade students last year compete at a national high school competition in Harvard, and they did really, really, really well. So, as I said earlier, I make it fun. We have lots of fun during the classes. We have we do icebreakers and we do impromptus, but at the same time, they 100% learn. I mean, we no matter if it's a class or individualized instruction, we always start with the basics, which include the very basic skills of public speaking, proper posture, eye contact, gestures, projection, speech inflection, and that progresses. Eventually, the more advanced a person gets, we could get into PowerPoint presentations, which we have done before. Last year, I instructed a business communication camp, which was 2 weeks, and the children developed a business presentation that they delivered in front of the parents at the end, which included PowerPoint, which was pretty unbelievable. And the more advanced they get, I've had students, not even in high school yet, who I am teaching the same college level format to. So they're not only learning the delivery skills where they're learning proper gestures and projection, as I mentioned earlier. They're also learning how to write and put a really, really good quality speech together, including proper organization, transitional statements, and incorporating very credible references and sources to help that person or student seem to be more credible.
That's very phenomenal work that you're doing. It must be very rewarding.
It's ridiculously rewarding. Makes, as you can see, I'm smiling, I'm glowing. To see them be that confident and actually want to go and compete. They want to compete. They want to travel all over the place. And if you go out on the street and ask an adult right now, would you like to be in a public speaking competition? I would say maybe 80% would probably run very far.
Yeah.
But these kids, because they started young, they didn't learn the fear. You know what I mean? We kept going with it, and increasingly they built confidence. And even no matter what they get as remarks, and they usually do well in the competitions, is always a positive experience because they get feedback. They get feedback from the judges, and which has positive feedback as well as anything that they need to work on. And it's just something that just seems it helps their self-esteem. I'm actually going to Harvard and I'm competing in a national high school speech competition when they're in 6th grade. So when they come back with shirts on at school that says National Speech Competition at Harvard, and their friends are like, wait, what did you do? I was on my iPad I'm not trying to say that's, they are on their iPads as well. But it's just another thing to advance them. They'll be much more advanced and confidence over their peers.
So guys, if you are interested in taking Julie's classes and or workshops, you can contact her by email. It's julie@beheardcommunication.com. Her website is beheardcommunication.com, and the business telephone number is also listed on the website. She is also on Facebook as Julie Teicher. That's Teicher. If you wish to contact her. I want to thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you very much for having me.
I should say, like I said, you're full of knowledge. I do see that. And like I said, best of luck to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
For all the, I should say, all the gifts and talents that you are giving to them. Because like I said, this is like you're giving them like a new life in terms of public speaking. Like you said, like I said, that it could do wonders for you, no matter what. Like I said,
100%.
whether you're a student or whether you're in business or you want to promote your brand, or like I said, you want to even convince a client or a customer to say yes and to buy your product or service. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
Guys, have a great day. And like I said, I learned a lot. Hope you guys learned a lot too from my special guest today. So have a great day. God bless. And I will see you at the same time, same place next week. Take care.